All right, my beautiful people. Thanks so much for joining us here. What's going on, Sunshine? Hey, LA Jones and how? Thanks so much for joining us, man. It's New Black Wall Street Book Club where Black folk do read. You put in the book, we absolutely will find it. This is our midday mental break, and this is we're going to actually be going through or continue along in the book, The Alchemist. That's right, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. It's a book that's recommended by Will Smith, Oprah Winfrey. It's kind of a must read, and this is kind of our leisure reading. And what I am doing is I'm actually just sharing with you some things that I did in order to free myself from corporate America, to go from employee to entrepreneur. One of those things that I did obviously was read. You read good books, quality stuff, put some good stuff in, you good stuff out. And this is just something that wealthy people do. You ask any wealthy person, they tell you they read. They read. They're avid readers, and they read good quality books. And the second thing that I did was just a strategy that I used just to use my time wisely. I would take my lunch break, 30 minutes to eat, and then another 30 minutes to feed myself good quality books. So I take my lunch break, take a walk, get away from the crowd, right? Don't do what they do, don't go where they go. And I simply will read myself out of my job and into my passion. And so that's just exactly what I do now. And I just want to make sure I'm sharing some of the things that I've done. You can choose to do them or you can choose not to do them. These techniques, they seem to work. And I learned them from other people that have been able to move away from what many of us would call bondage and into freedom. And so this is New Black Wall Street Book Club. While you guys are connecting, go ahead and hit that like button, that share button, let people know that we're here. Also, let us know exactly what city, what state you are connecting from. We want to know how far our reach is, man. This thing called the internet is going far and going wide. I want to say hello to you over Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Podcast Central, Stitcher, wherever it is that you might hear this from. Thanks so much for joining. It's time to get this show on the road. New Black Wall Street Book Club. Mr. DJ, let's see if I can find you. Uh-oh. Hit the music.
New Black Wall Street Book Club. Evan Jefferson, brother, much love. Educating, elevating, because in knowledge is the power and we'll never give it up. Literature's for the masses. Where to put your money down, now how to watch your assets. Yeah, uplift
your birthday.
My brother Evan, he will turn it into action. New Black Wall Street
birthday.
You should come read with us. Yeah, we comprehend and discuss. We all just come together. There's no limit for us. Here comes your host, New Black Wall Street.
Oh yeah,
Evan, take it away. New Black Wall Street Book Club.
All right, man. Thanks so much for joining again. All right, first Instagram Live. Thanks so much from Phoenix, Arizona. We got a birthday girl in the house. Happy birthday to you around the way, girl, up in Philly. Miss Latia, happy birthday to you. I would sing to you, but it might ruin your birthday, so I'm not going to do that. But happy birthday to you. Another year of wisdom, another year to dominate. I'm glad that he has allowed you to be here. You got that Obama number 44 going on. That's what I'm talking about, man. Happy birthday to you. Hey, I want to let you know today's episode is sponsored by ERGJ Black Bazaar. ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace. And you can pick up your Black History activity books. That's right, your Black History activity books for $10. This here is obviously Uncle Martin Luther King. Good thing for you to get for yourself or for your children. Activity books where you can draw, you can color, you can connect the dots, but not just have the activities, but learn about these historical figures. We got about 10 books or 10 different Black history figures from Martin Luther King to Malcolm X to Muhammad Ali to Marcus Garvey and more. So go ahead and go to www.ergjblackbazaar, www.ergjblackbazaar. Pick up your Black history activity books, $10. Pick it up today. Now, if you are a business or you have a business, you like promotion here on the show, just make sure that you inbox us and let us know, and we can discuss what it is that you do and how we can help you sell more stuff. And also, if you are an author, this is obviously a book club. We are reading. You may have some good quality literature that you like to have read. You like more exposure. Inbox us and let us know about the book that you wrote. We can review it, see if it fits with what we do, and we may just bring your book. That's right, some Black literature that we'll read right here on the book club. Last but not least, before we get back into the book, The Alchemist, you do have an opportunity to join us. So we actually do have a club inside a club. So the book club is actually inside the Black Billionaires Club. If you're part of the Black Billionaires Club, go and put a comment on hashtag BBC. Tonight we'll be meeting to get into our business development. We'll be talking about 100 ways to get $100,000 to fund your business. If that sounds like something that you want to know, you want to learn about, and you want to be a part of, well, join the BBC today. Go to theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. Become a member today for only $10 a month. There are other benefits. You can read on that yourself. But let's get right into our midday mental break, because I know some of you guys are on lunch break. You say, "Hey, I know I've eaten already," but the good book says that man should not live off bread alone. So that's right. We're not living off bread alone. We're gonna read also get some mental fortitude, some mental manna going on with us today here in the Alchemist. Now, I want to pick up where we left off at yesterday's episode. I think it was episode 2. Where Santiago, who is the main character of the story, is traveling. He's traveling to Tarifa, and Santiago is going there mainly because he wants to find the girl. But on his way there, he ran into a gypsy, and he had a dream that he shared with the gypsy, and the gypsy interpreted it for him and told him, "Hey, you need to go to Egypt, because Egypt is where you'll find the treasure. And matter of fact, when you get there, just make sure you give me 1/10 of the treasure that you find." Now he is actually, as he's traveling to Tarifa, I guess that's where he's headed, he stopped on a bench, and then an old man, sat on the bench with him and began to have a conversation with him that he didn't want to have. So let's pick up a little bit with yesterday, and we'll keep moving forward with Santiago sitting on the bench with the old man. "So, said the old man, looking on all sides of the book as if it were some strange object. This is an important book, but it's really irritating." The boy was shocked. The old man knew how to read and already read the book. And if the book was irritating, as the old man had said, the boy still had time to change it for another. "It's a book that says the same thing almost all other books in the world say," continued the old man. "It describes people's inability to choose their own personal legends." Everybody put in the console personal legend. He said it talks about, describes people's inability to choose their own personal legend. Now, if you were here yesterday, one of the main questions I continue to ask is this: are you the shepherd or the sheep? See, the shepherd chooses, the sheep simply follow. Are you the shepherd or the sheep? Have you chosen? Have you made a decision for your own personal legend? And it ends up saying that everyone believes the world's greatest lie. The boy asked, "Well, what's the world's greatest lie?" Completely surprised. "It's this: that at a certain point in our lives," everybody put it on a certain point. Some of us probably already reached this point, a certain point in our lives. So at some point in time in your life, he says this: we lose control of what's happening to us. And our lives become controlled by fate. That's the world's greatest lie. In other words, no matter how old you are, you still have the ability to choose. You still have the ability to change. You still have the ability to be whatever it is that you want to be. Don't believe the lie that now that you are whatever age, it is what it is. We got to kill that. I think we got to. Now, there's some simple, I think it's good to say it is what it is in certain things. But now when it comes to your own life, it's not is what it is. It is what you have allowed it to be. But guess what? You can change it. "That's never happened to me," the boy said. They wanted me to be a priest, but I decided to become a shepherd. It was a choice that he made. "Much better," said the old man, "because you really like to travel." He knew what I was thinking, the boy said to himself. The old man, meanwhile, was leafing through the book without seeming to want to return it at all. The boy noticed that the man's clothing was strange. He looked like an Arab, which was not unusual in those parts. Africa was only a few hours from Tarifa. One had only to cross the narrow straits by boat. Arabs often appeared in the city, shopping and chanting their strange prayers several times a day. Where are you from? The boy asked. From many places. No one can be from many places. The boy said, I'm a shepherd and I've been to many places, but I come from only one place, from a city near an ancient castle. That's where I was born. Well, then, we can say that I was born in Salem. Now, if you guys know anything about the word Salem, Salem means peace. So everybody put in the gospel, peace. Said I was born in Salem. The boy didn't know where Salem was, but he didn't want to ask, fearing that he would appear ignorant. Anybody ever feel like that? Like you don't want to say nothing because you think you're going to look stupid. Appear ignorant. He looked at the people in the plaza for a while. They were coming and going. All of them seemed to be very busy. So what is Salem like? He asked, trying to get some sort of clue. It's like it always has been. No clue yet. But he knew that Salem wasn't in Andalusia. If it were, he would have already heard of it. And what do you do in Salem? He insisted. What do I do in Salem? The old man laughed. Well, I'm the king of Salem. So he's telling the boy, hey, I'm the king of peace. I'm the king of Salem. Uh-oh. Who is this old man? People say strange things, the boy thought. Sometimes it's better to be with the sheep who don't say anything, and better still to be alone with one's books. They tell their incredible stories at the time when you want to hear them. This is why reading books is important. You seem to read the right book at the right time, you start to get answers in your life. But when you're talking to people, they say some things that are so strange that you don't know how to continue the conversation. How many guys have talked to some people? They say something so strange and crazy. It's gonna be so far left field. You're like, I don't even know how to keep talking to you. That's where this brother is right now. I don't even. They say some strange stuff. My name is Melchizedek, said the old man. How many sheep do you have? Enough, said the boy. He could see that the old man wanted to know more about his life. Well, then we've got a problem. I can't help you if you feel you've got enough sheep. Now let's think about this for a second. This old man is talking to this brother like he already know him. Asked him a question about how many sheep he said. The boy got defensive. I got enough. Anybody talking to somebody start getting defensive? Enough. He's like, well, I can't help it. Now the boy, listen, the boy didn't ask for help, by the way. But the old man is trying to help him nonetheless. The boy was getting irritated. He was asking for help. He wasn't asking for help. It was the old man who had asked for a drink of wine and had started the conversation. Give me my book, the boy said. I've got to go and gather my sheep and get going. Give me 1/10 of your sheep, said the old man, and I'll tell you how to find the hidden treasure. Uh-oh. Yeah, uh-oh, that word hidden treasure again might spark some interest. The boy remembered his dream, and suddenly everything was clear to him. The old woman hadn't charged him anything. That's the old gypsy we talked to yesterday. But the old man, maybe he was her husband. He was going to find a way to get much more money in exchange for information about something that didn't even exist. Let me ask you this. How many of you have been in a position where you've talked to some elders and they seem to have answers for you that you're not even asking for? You know, maybe it's the young lady that's talked to the grandmother. Grandmother say, I had a dream about you, and this is what's going on. And you're like, what? Right? I think this is what this brother's going through. He's talking to an elder, an older brother who seemed to know more about him than he knows about him. Interesting. Now notice this too. He's a young man talking to an old man. It's a totally different conversation that he's having with the old man than he was having with the older woman. Something about men talking to men and women talking to women. I don't know. I picked that up. He was going to find a way to get much more money in exchange for information about something that didn't even exist. The old man was probably a gypsy too. Now he's speculating, right? He obviously hadn't heard of Salem. He obviously hadn't heard about Melchizedek, right? But before the boy could say anything, the old man leaned over, picked up a stick, and began to write in the sand of the plaza. Something bright reflected from his chest with such intensity that the boy was momentarily blinded. With the movement that was too quick for someone his age, the man covered whatever it was with his cape. When his vision returned to normal, the boy was able to read what the old man had written in the sand. There in the sand of the plaza of that small city, the boy read the names of his father, and his mother and the name of the seminary he had attended. He read the name of the merchant's daughter, which he hadn't even known, and he read things he had never told anyone. This seemed to be a special meeting between the young boy Santiago and his old man, the king of Salem, or the king of peace, Melchizedek. I'm the king of Salem, the old man had said. Why would a king be talking with a shepherd? The boy asked, awed and embarrassed. For several reasons. But let's say the most important is that you have succeeded in discovering your personal legend. I don't know. Is it possible that when me and you succeed in discovering, everybody put in the comments on discover, when we discover our personal legend, when we discover what it is that we are called to do, when we discover where we are supposed to head and we get on that track, could the King of Peace visit us as well? Could the King of Peace visit us also? Discover. The boy didn't know what a person's personal legend was. It's what you have always wanted to accomplish. Everyone, when they are young, knows what their personal legend is. At that point in their lives, everything is clear and everything is possible. They're not afraid to dream and to yearn for everything they would like to see happen to them in their lives. But as time passes, a mysterious force begins to convince them that it will be impossible for them to realize their personal legend. Let's read this again. What is a personal legend? It's what you have always wanted to accomplish. Everyone, when they are young, knows what their personal legend is. At that point in their lives, everything is clear. Everybody put in the comments below clear. And everything is possible. Everybody put in the comments below possible. They're not afraid to dream and to yearn for everything they would like to see happen to them in their lives. But as time passes, a mysterious force begins to convince them that it will be impossible for them to realize their personal legend. None of what the old man was saying made much sense to the boy, but he wanted to know what the mysterious force was. The merchant's daughter would be impressed when he told her about that. It's a force that appears to be negative, but actually shows you how to realize your personal legend. It prepares your spirit and your will, because there's one great truth on this planet. Whoever you are, or whatever it is that you do, when you really want something, it's because that desire originated in the soul of the universe. It's your mission on earth. Even when all you want to do is travel or marry the daughter of a textile merchant. Yes, or even search for treasure. The soul of the world is nourished by people's happiness and also by unhappiness, envy, and jealousy. To realize one's personal legend is a person's only real obligation. All things are one. And when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. Let me read that again. And when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. How many guys have found that to be true in your life as you have lived on this earth, however long it is that you've been here, that when you really, really wanted something that aligned with your life, that you noticed or you have seen or you have recognized, however it happened, you don't really know how it happened, but it came to pass in your life, that the whole universe worked on your behalf to help you to get what you wanted. I always tell the story about how when I was younger, probably when I first started to drive, I had always wanted a specific car. Right? I always wanted a Prelude. It was just something about that Honda Prelude that I just really wanted. Now, the Prelude wasn't the first car that I got. It wasn't the second car that I got. It wasn't the third car that I ended up driving or the fourth. But eventually, what I wanted way back then came to pass. And I ended up finding myself driving a Prelude, I think in 2011 or something like that. I always thought that was interesting. It was the exact Prelude that I wanted with all the amenities that I wanted back then when I was younger. It was the exact car some 10, 15 years later. Have you ever had that happen to you? That you had a desire from way back when, and eventually it came to pass? That the whole world conspired to give you what you wanted? Something to think about. Something to consider. They were both silent for a time, observing the plaza and the townspeople. It was the old man who spoke first. Why do you tend a flock of sheep? Because I like to travel. The old man pointed to a baker standing in his shop window at one corner of the plaza. When he was a child, that man wanted to travel too, but he decided to buy his bakery and put some money aside. When he's an old man, he's going to spend a month in Africa. He never realized that people are capable at any time in their life of doing what they dreamed of. People are capable at any time in their life. You are capable at any point of time in your life. We are capable of any time in our life of doing what we dream of. That poses the question. What do you dream of? Has your dream become, it's still there, but it's been, let's just say it's been covered, masked by all the other stuff in life. And the dream's still there, but you have a hard time getting to it in your imagination because of all the other things that you think about. When did you stop dreaming? Uh-oh. Don't you know, I know that I'm talking to some people today that can't even remember the last time they really dreamed. Can't even remember. Matter of fact, it might be even hard for you to even pinpoint what that dream was that you had. You had it at one point in time, but then you kind of let it slowly slip away because of this thing that we call life. Well, maybe it's time to get back to dreaming. Maybe it's time to get back to imagining. Maybe it's time to get back to fantasizing. Maybe it's time to get back to believing even when we don't see it. He should have decided to become a shepherd, the boy said. Well, he thought about that, the old man said. But bakers are more important people than shepherds. Bakers have homes while shepherds sleep out in the open. Parents would rather see their children marry bakers than shepherds. The boy felt a pang in his heart, thinking about the merchant's daughter. There was surely a baker in her town. The old man continued, in the long run, what people think about shepherds and bakers become more important for them than their own personal legend. What people think about all of these different careers and all these different, putting these level of importance on one thing or the other, we think more about that, more about what career is going to make us some money, right, than our own personal legend, which will bring us satisfaction and personal fulfillment and money too. How many guys were, when you were going through high school and got to college, your parents had a conversation about, you might have wanted to do one thing, but the parents said, no, that ain't gonna make you no money, or the grandparent or the aunt and the uncle, that ain't gonna make you no money, so don't pursue that. Go do this. And then you start thinking like an adult, well, I better do something to make some money, so I guess I'm not gonna do what I really want to do. I'll just do what they want me to do. How many guys have been in positions where you made decisions to do what other people wanted you to do, even though you wanted to do something different? In your heart of hearts, like, I don't want to do that. But you felt obligated. You loved the person enough. You trusted their opinion. And so you did what they wanted you to do, although it wasn't what you wanted to do. Whew. The old man leafed through the book and fell to reading a page he came to. The boy waited and then interrupted the old man just as he himself had been interrupted. Why are you telling me all this? Because you're trying to realize your personal legend. And you're at a point where you're about to give it all up. And that's when you always appear on the scene. Not always in this way, but I always appear in one form or another. Sometimes I appear in the form of a solution or a good idea. At other times, at a crucial moment, I make it easier for things to happen. There are other things I do too, but most of the time, people don't realize I've done them. Has the King of Peace visited you? Has he appeared in the form of a solution or a good idea? Has he come at a crucial moment and made things a little bit easier for things to happen? Has he appeared to you and where you didn't really realize he'd come? The King of Peace. Y'all see why this is some of the stuff I used to read when I was walking, when I needed peace in my life, when I was frustrated at the job, and I really wanted to quit, but I knew it just wasn't time, and I had to get my mind right, and I had to find peace in the storm. See, like I said, 30 minutes I would feed myself or I eat food. The other 30 minutes, I was feeding my soul with good literature. Hopefully, you're getting some of that today. The old man related that the week before, he had been forced to appear before a miner and had taken the form of a stone. The miner had abandoned everything to go mining for emeralds. For 5 years, he had been working a certain river and had examined hundreds of thousands of stones looking for an emerald. The miner was about to give it all up. Right at the point when, if he were to examine just one more stone, just one more, everybody put it down, so just one more, he would have found his emerald. Since the miner had sacrificed everything to his personal legend, the old man decided to become involved. The old man, the King of Peace, got involved. He transformed himself into a stone that rolled up to the miner's foot. The miner, with all the anger and frustration of his 5 fruitless years, picked up the stone and threw it aside. But he had thrown it with such force that it broke the stone, it broke the stone and it fell open. And there, embedded in the broken stone, was the most beautiful emerald in the world. People learn early in their lives what is their reason for being, said the old man, with a certain bitterness. Maybe that's why they give up on it so early too. But that's the way it is. The boy reminded the old man that he had something about hidden treasure. Treasure is uncovered by the force of flowing water, and it is buried by the same current, said the old man. If you want to learn about your own treasure, you will have to give me 1/10 of your flock. So now here's the price he's going to have to pay to get what he's looking for, more information to find that treasure. How many guys are looking for treasure in your life? That's a great question to ask. How many guys are everybody put guys on treasure hunt. How many guys are on a treasure hunt right now? How many guys are looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, knowing that it's at the end and not at the beginning? I want a treasure hunt right now. Are you willing to pay the price to get to the end of the rainbow? Are you willing to go the 4 years, the 5 years, the 10 years of diligence and not give up to realize and find your treasure? What about 1/10 of my treasure? The old man looked disappointed. If you start out by promising what you don't even have yet, you'll lose your desire to work towards getting it. Uh-oh. If you start out by promising what you don't even have yet, This is what people do, right? They promise that they'll pay back from their future earnings what they couldn't afford today, going into debt. And then what they want to do is 5-10 years later, they want to repair their credit by then saying they don't owe the debt that they agreed to pay. You'll lose your desire to work toward getting it. You'll lose your desire to work toward paying it off. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't get me started. You know, I am a financial educator, by the way. The boy told him that he had already promised to give 1/10 of his treasure to the gypsy. Gypsies are expert at getting people to do that, sighed the old man. In any case, it's good that you've learned that everything in life has its price. This is what the warriors of the light try to teach, that everything in life has its price. The old man returned the book to the boy. Tomorrow, at the same time, bring me 1/10 of your flock. Bring me 1/10 of what you own. Bring me 1/10 of what you have. Why 1/10? Because he's going to make an offering. Right? He's telling the boy to pay a tithe, right, to the King of Peace. Make your offering, and I'll tell you how to find the hidden treasure. Good afternoon. And he vanished around the corner of the plaza. So now he's got a choice he's got to make. He's already made a promise, right, to pay 1/10 of the treasure, which he does not have, to the gypsy. Now he's saying, hey, now that the old man, the King of Peace, Melchizedek, who he doesn't know is the King of Peace, by the way, is saying, hey, give me 1/10 of your flock. 1/10. You got to give up 1/10 of your money in this particular case, because I heard at this point in time, this was his money. This was his living. This is how he made a living, by the sheep. He's got to give up 1/10 of it in order to get the information to then go and continue along his search for his treasure. How many guys would be willing to do that? You willing to give up 1/10 of all that you own to get the knowledge that you need? Uh-oh. Let me ask that again. How many guys would be willing to give up 1/10 of all that you own to get the knowledge that you need? Most people won't even do $10 a month, let alone 1/10 of all that they own. How bad do you want it? That's a great question, because you never know when you're going to bump into the King of Peace. You never know when you're going to run into him. He shows up in all different forms. You never know. But are you willing to give up your offering? 1/10 of all that you own. Oh my, that's a tough decision, by the way. That is a tough decision. Now, we might not look at it like he looks at it. Might look at it like flock, like sheep, like, but they don't come a dime a dozen. He's traveling all over the desert with his sheep, trying to find people that want to get some wool or whatever. This is 1/10 of all that he owns. He's going to have to make a decision if he's willing to do that in order to get the knowledge that he needs to find the treasure. Now, it goes to say that if he makes the decision to do it, because we don't know, we'll find out in the next episode, if he makes the decision to give up 1/10 of all that he owns to get this knowledge, then that means that he believes in the treasure that he'll get. That's another thing to consider. Like, do I really, we don't know what this treasure is. You're on a treasure hunt, but you don't know what you're going to find. You know what I mean? You don't really know what you're going to find. So you got to make a decision. Am I going to be willing to give up 1/10 of all that I own to get the information from this brother who say he can help me find this treasure, and I don't even know what that treasure is? Woo! Well, it's going to take some faith and some belief. Believe it. Anyway, this is The Alchemist, guys, by Paulo Coelho. Hopefully you've enjoyed this midday mental break, gave you something to think about. Again, I'm just sharing with you what I went through and what I did in order to prepare my mind to leave my job, right? To go from employee to entrepreneur, I had to change the way that I think so I could change my life. And so I just said, hey, it's important, I believe, that I share with others some of the things that I did in order to get to where I am. And hopefully it's helped you today. In the comments below, go ahead and share with us what you learned today. What's your takeaway from today's reading, our literature today? What's something that stuck with you? We talked about the journey of Santiago as he's on to the fulfillment of his personal legend, and he is now looking for his treasure. He's now looking for his treasure. We always ask this because we like to know what it is that you got out of today. We want to make sure that what we do brings value, and then if you got that value, you've captured something today. So in the comments below, share with us what you learned today. What's your takeaway? Was it worth your time, and why? Please go ahead and hit that like button, that share button, let people know that we're here. And while you guys are typing, go ahead and let you know again, today's episode was sponsored by ERGJ Black Bazaar. Go over to www.ergjblackbazaar.com. Pick up your Black History activity books. Today, only $10. Again, you want to make sure you inbox us if you're interested in getting promotion or sponsorship on the show. And then also, you want to make sure you inbox us if you are an author, you want your book read and get more exposure through this show. And then last but not least, you want to make sure that you make a decision to join the book club today. We'll be meeting tonight, Thursday night, 8 p.m. And we will be talking about 100 ways to get over $100,000 to fund your business. And if you know anything about capital, you know how difficult it is for businesses to find money to continue to grow. Well, if that's you, you want to make sure you're with us here tonight. Man, go ahead and join the club. Go to theblackbillionairesclub.com to join today, and I'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. Well, guys, I'm ERGJ, Certified Financial Educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises. Landscape Larry says, start back dreaming and pursue it. That's right. Get back to dreaming and pursue it. Guys, I want you to remember this, that it takes a village, and it starts with us. Let's build together. We all we got. But guess what? That's enough. Hey, guys, until next time, you know what time it is, man. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
New black. It's the New Black Wall Street Book Club. With your host, Evan Jefferson. It's time for us to go. Yeah. Now, you ain't got to leave the computer, but we encourage you to get out there and learn and apply all the things you learn at the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Yeah. New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street Book Club.